Greetings, welcome to my channel. Still got one hand today, so I think I'll start with my Lantern Oracle deck. Just start splitting, see what we get. That seems to be working okay. And when I was getting ready for this, I saw like what looked like maybe like a little Buddha statue sitting on a little shrine, and it was all like yellows and reds, which makes me think of like, and oranges, the lower chakras, base, sacral, and solar plexus, which is all about your earthly living and taking action and creativity and finding courage. And as I watched a little closer, the statue seemed to be more like the Hindu god Ganesha, which is the god of good luck, the remover of obstacles and wisdom, and god of the higher self, intuitive soul, right? So, and I also heard love is on your side. Kind of like the song, time is on my side, but time is not on your side. Love is on your side. But if you're willing to follow love, to take action, learn wisdom and take action, then Ganesha, you can remove obstacles. You will embrace the spirit of removing obstacles in their life. Okay, maybe one more. Radical self-love, and that was what I was hearing, the vibe I was getting as I was pondering the words, love is on your side. And for that to bear out true and remove obstacles in life, it starts with self-love and love of the self, and not like an egoic love, loving the self we are conditioned and raised to grow into, where we live in pursuit of achievement, accolades, praise from the world at large. Self-love is like TLC for your inner child, all the parts of you that you were taught to reject. Maybe you were raised like to never express being upset about anything. Like if you started crying about anything, you were scolded, or if you were mad about anything, you were gaslighted or guilt tripped into feeling shame for being angry about something that was, perfectly valid to be angry about, that sort of thing. And to recognize those parts of yourself that you have maybe been taught to suppress, maybe working to understand why you've suppressed them, things that would make you feel guilty about letting those feelings surface, like, oh, my caregiver would guilt trip me and shame me into suppressing those feelings, like sadness, grief, hurt, anger. And so I just push those away every time I felt those, and I feel guilty when emotions like that come up, because I feel like I'm betraying my caregivers, And that's a wound, that's an inner child wound that is affecting your mentality. If that's just something that resonates with you, like a way of growing up, or a way of being raised and conditioned, those are the kinds of things that inflict wounds on your emotional self, your inner emotional self, your higher self, your inner child. That takes some work to address, and sometimes that can include professional therapy to help guide you through that in order to learn radical self-love. And there's an old woman on here, and often people don't reach this point until the very end of life, when they're ready to let go, right? And they understand with the wisdom of embracing all of yourself and learning to care less, draw boundaries against just, society at large. When it comes to balance, accepting what your heart really wants out of life, which may not, be impressive to society at large. There is giving and receiving and giving. 33, sharing. Okay, this is about community. This comes up sometimes, and this, could be about seeking help from either quality professionals or trusted connections who you can trust to tell you the truth. Not be like quote unquote brutally honest, but honest with you. And it may feel brutal if you're not used to hearing someone tell you the truth without being afraid of how you react. Like a good friend who's honestly concerned about where you're going in life. Like maybe they're honestly concerned about you, like your health, your mental, emotional, and physical health, and they're trying to express that and share that with you because they care about you. Connections like that, and it can be a work with working on yourself to learn to distinguish between someone who's toxic and gaslighting you and confusing you with someone who has genuine honest like caring intentions towards your health and your emotional well-being in your future. Confusion. Yeah, what was I just saying? People discerning between genuine, heart-based, trustworthy connections and those who would keep you confused in emotional turmoil, keep those wounds open with continual strikes. Growth hurts, heals, and harnesses a way through the uncertainty. Yeah, and working to learn radical self-love will help you navigate through confusion and discern healthy connections from toxic ones. Yes, and integrating all parts of yourself, including those parts you were taught to suppress. Okay, maybe I'll go with some Wild Mystic. Let's do this. Communicate. There we go. And this one has the bat. Yeah. Learning to navigate through the dark, right? That's what bats do by communicating in ways that other animals are not accustomed to. They see, communicate, and move in new and different ways than we are used to. Secret. What's this? And I think lock and key. Digging in deep to do the inner emotional healing, I would say, is the secret to wisdom and getting through good change for your future. Provide for yourself and others. Connections, quality connections, healthy connections in your life. Deal. This one came out upside down. So this, could be the death of, as this comes up often, it could be the death of the ending of a karmic contract, a connection with whom you're starting to see like toxic behavior, toxic tendencies, gaslighting, manipulation, that sort of thing. Yes, reveal. Yeah. And this badger image always makes me think of balancing out light and dark, shadow and light, and integrating those two sides within yourself. In order to grow. Another, and these two lizards also make me think of balancing out shadow and light. Okay. Now I'll add in a little tarot. Let's see what we see. Three of Wands. Oh, this kind of mirrors this right here. Okay. And this and the Three of Wands in this deck always makes me think of someone who's having trouble getting things going in life, moving forward, getting some momentum, because like she's got these barren sticks in this barren wasteland. It's the Queen of Pentacles. getting what you thought was the Queen of Pentacles. You were actually, yeah, it was a dead end of a path. And you're working to manifest wisdom and find your way out. And I think that reflects that deal card. Like ending of a karmic contract. Yeah, trying to find your way forward to a happy ending. Death again! Endings. Star, and coming to getting in touch with your, the depths of your inner emotional world. And that could be quite the harrowing journey of shadow work, right? As Jung called it, like psychological examination. It can be very daunting and very difficult, and so yeah, definitely professional help can help someone get through that if they might feel the need for assistance. Yeah, more endings. Death to a contentious connection. Yeah, that you're finding your way out of. And into your Emperor energy. By letting go of this constant state of being in defense mode, right? Being constantly on guard, constantly protecting yourself, constantly have to wear a mask, that sort of thing. And letting endings happen. Okay, I think I'll go with Moonology to finish up. Take time to breathe out. Okay, that fits right in. Take some time out to yourself. Even it could be a good amount of time out. That could be something to consider, like taking a break, taking some time to hermit up, be alone for a while. Just learn how to be by yourself in the quiet. Take some long walks, find a nature trail. Believe in the impossible. Yeah, came right out under Magician, full moon, blue moon. Interesting. Actually, let me see what the book says. As the saying goes, some things happen only once in a blue moon. In other words, hardly ever. Drawing this card suggests you're about to get a rare chance, and that something one-off could be well about to happen. This card is a very positive sign. Love is on your side. If you felt like you're hoping for too much or asking for too much from the universe, whatever you're asking about, well, it might only happen once in a blue moon, but it can happen. However, with this rare opportunity before you, it's important that you believe in it. Convince yourself that whatever you're asking for, whatever you're asking about can never go in your favor, then guess what? It won't go in your favor. Be grateful for this card, which is a reminder to believe in your dreams. And taking time to breathe out, clear your head, can get you in touch, and of course doing the inner work of emotional healing can get you in touch with what your heart really wants, which is usually tends to be like when people come to the end of their life, they let go of like external concerns over stuff and status and accolades and approval, and they embrace what's they want to die with, the memories they want to die with, which is quality connections, quality healthy connections, loving, supporting, equal give and take connections. You may think that's impossible. You may be unused to that. But yeah, you have to believe, and you also have to believe you can work towards a shift in life and working in a shifting towards that goal in mind. Okay. Adjustments are required. What was I just saying? Can't make it up. Yeah, shifting, adjusting. That includes just maybe, doing the work to adjust your mindset. Trying a different way of communication, a different way of thinking, a different way of viewing, say, your past and your patterns, and taking time to breathe out and reflect on that. If you want, to implement and find and grant your wish for a change in life. Okay. If you've made it this far into the reading, please drop a heart in the comments, click like, subscribe to the channel. I hope that this has helped someone out there today. I will see you next time.